This started like 2 days ago in practice. I think our approach was different. I think, we didn't have the fight we should have had the whole first 3 quarters, and I think that you're not going to beat a good team in the SEC if you play like that. And I think it started with our practice, and I think it carries over and it teaches us how important practice is and how important, the 2 days in advance are. So I think, it's hard when you practice some way, you can't come out and expect to play a different way.
Y'all really flushed losses and bounced back. Just how confident, I guess, are you that the team can recover from this one this time too?
Yeah, I'm just as confident as it has in the past. I think this loss hurts a little bit more because we did beat them the first time and we showed how good we are. And I think, when you come home and lose to a team, it never feels good. But I think our how we come back is going to be everything for us. And I think we've continued to bounce back every other game. And I think that'll just show if we can survive in this league. And I think we have everything it takes. We have to be willing to have that fight. And it's going to be a little harder this time.
You mentioned the win against Alabama just over 2 weeks ago. Was there anything like schematically different that they surprised you with this time around compared to last time?
I think they just played to their advantages. Their personnel, they played exactly how they were supposed to. I think it was our approach and it was the way we did practice. And I think, when you don't have 2 good days of practice, it's hard to have confidence going in. And I think, it's us. It's on. There's nothing I can like really say. I think it just shows us we have to continue to fight. And when you don't fight, you're gonna feel it, and every team in this league is gonna make you pay.
I guess back to back good performances for yourself. I guess did the game off that Coach Neighbors gave you like, spur anything, or like how are you feeling personally as your game rounds into form for SEC?
I feel good. I think I need to. I mean, it's not good enough. We have to win for me to feel good. So I think you have to turn around tomorrow and have to, see what we have to do differently. I think the game off allowed me to kind of take a break and relax, but I didn't want to take off, so it kind of was like the worst thing ever. But I think when you come back and have 2 good games, it makes it worth it that I sat out. But again, it wasn't. It's not enough.
Yeah, real quick, just Sarah Ashley Barker. Y'all aren't the only team to have trouble stopping her. What makes her kind of tough?
She's a great player. I mean, she's so versatile. She scores in the paint. She goes left. She goes right. She shoots the three. She passes really well. And I think she's grown her game so much. And a lot of people kind of say like we play similar. And I feel that because if she's going to take you off the dribble, okay, well, she's going to find her open teammate. And if her teammate's driving, she's going to cut and she's going to make you pay. And I think she's just a super fundamental player. And she's really good. She's one of the better players in our league.
Result from what happened while y'all were down there. What did Alabama do well? And what did y'all not do well?
Uh, their effort was noticeably different, and not noticeably different from the time before, and noticeably different than ours. It was glaring, disappointing, because um, it's February. Shouldn't be that way. If you don't play good, okay, fine. If you don't shoot good, okay, fine. If you don't do other things good, okay, fine. But if you don't play hard, boy, in February, I just challenged them. I said, I don't know why. We weren't not going to have a big meeting or come to Jesus talk or anything like that. But whatever it was, it's got to be bigger than. It's got to be less important than whatever this team needs. Whatever the reason was. Treaty was at practice 2 days ago. Saw it coming, didn't we? I did. Talk to Mac about it. Mac, what is it? I don't know, coach. Let's find out. Next day, same thing. We saw it. If we're having to coach, focus, and effort on February the 2nd or 1st, February 1st, against a team that, we know what they're going to do. We guarded it before. They didn't run anything different. They ran it better. They ran it harder. They were much better in transition. They attacked the glass harder. They did everything. And again, give Christy and her staff credit on what they did in between the two games, because they did a lot better job with their team than we did with our team. And I told the team more often than not, I come in here and take a lot of it, and it still will take all the blame, because I did see it coming and we couldn't get anything done about it. but I don't profess to know what goes on in every 18 to 22-year-old kid's mind. But whatever it is, we got to get it fixed before tomorrow. Practice at 1. And I don't talk to the team after games. I did today. I went in there and talked to them and told them that. I had a lot of head nods. I told them to show up and fight like the third line at Noah's Ark, and it's raining. So we'll see. And again, the sky's not falling, but that effort was poor. It's disappointing. We had a good crowd for a late tip, and we didn't give them anything to cheer about till halfway through the fourth quarter. Then it's too late. It's too late to try to play hard then. It's too late to you got to do it when it's 0-0, and we just didn't have it. Just didn't have it.
Out up there and said that this one really hurts and that she saw it coming from the practices as well. Just I know you've mentioned your team being very player led. Is that encouraging at least to your players said that?
No, I mean, we talked about it. We look at each other. Mac, if y'all look at our practice schedule, y'all been, I give the team 3 timeouts every practice. I give them 3. Hardly ever use them. Used all 3 of them the other day. Couldn't get it going. So as a coach, it is my job to find out, and I will if it doesn't show up, if it's not better tomorrow. I can give them a little leeway because it's really the first time we've played like that. And I told them if there is a reason rather than an excuse, I need to know about it. If it's just an excuse, then we got to get past it. If it's a reason, then let's talk about it. Nobody said that was the case, but I mean, I am proud that Saylor could see it coming. I think you could have had anybody in here and seen it coming if they were being truthfully honest. And I'm not calling anybody out by name. I will say this. I would exclude Michaela Daniels from that to some degree because she tried. She called the timeouts. She tried to get them going. Did y'all see her come over there to me and go, why does everybody have an attitude? I said, my guess is as good as yours. I don't know. But this is not the time for us to figure it out. So we'll figure it out. I think they will figure it out. It's best if they do. It's best if they figure it out. And sometimes you just don't know. You know, there's certain things we did that were good. I mean, you look at the stat sheet, and as long as you don't look at their half, it's pretty good. But it will be a very good film session for just me. I'm not sure we'll watch it as a team. We just don't have time in the turnaround if you're going to get ready. But I will look for answers. I will look for some things that maybe I've neglected. But at this point in time, I don't know what it is. And I know everybody's going to say, well, and it is my job and I'll figure it out. But I do think that it was encouraging to see him fight at the end. Long answer to your first question. We may never get out of here.
Yeah. This one's from Andy Hodges. So if you have a problem with it, you can take it up with him. He said, is this kind of like, I guess, a heat check, down to earth moment for this team that, kind of.
He may be a little premature with that one. He knows I can say it back to him. I mean, we're 4-4. We're not at the bottom. We're not in dire straits. The sky is not falling, but I see where he's going with it because of the way it happened. Yeah. So maybe some of that, but not all that.
Firstly, on Talia, when she checked in for the first time, the crowd gave her a nice, cheer. Yeah. What does that say that, someone as a freshman has already
I wrote it on her card to be sure she listened to it because that's, that is a good sign for our crowd to be excited that she's back. We knew it was going to be, and she's worried about her timing. That's what we talked about. We want to take it slow. There's not a ramp up period like we had in the preseason where we had the foreign trip and we had all off season. It's hard to be out for that many games and find your rhythm. But I was proud of our fans and the way that we've responded to it. With Keats being out, especially, it was really important that she get her feet back in there, not only just for tonight, but for the stretch run here.
Spoken to her post game at all or anything? And, Talia,
I just talked to the team. Yeah. I usually don't. But I did talk to the team and said a few things to people on the way out. So but I did speak to all of them in there.
Kind of just different result than the first go around. It's y'all aren't the first team in the SEC to have this happen this year. I'm sure you won't be the last. Just how much of a dogfight, I guess, is the SEC this year?
Unlike any year I've ever been in it. whether I was an assistant coach or a head coach here. There is there's very little separation between whatever number you want to pick out. I was watching the SEC now the other day, and they were kind of trying to put people in spots already. And we're not even one time through. We're not even 8 games in, are we? We are now. So we're halfway there. Most everybody's halfway there. So it's a good time probably to do it. I mean, it's crazy, but it's like this in a lot of leagues. That's somebody on the committee that's got to figure it all out here in the end going, I think it is a result of everything, the stacking up of COVID kids, the transfer portal, and everything. I think it has shrunk the difference between tiers in every league. So it is that way. I mean, we've got, like you say, flip games like this. Like we went on the road by, I don't know what, about this margin. They come here and went on the road. You know, I don't think that prognosticating or forecasting has to be much fun right now. Because again, if we show up with a lack of effort, anybody in our league can make us look that way. And it's the same way every night. So I think it's that way in every league. I don't think our league is unique in that way. I look around every league and I think they're all going through it at some point, but I think it's a result of all those things. We've got a very minute separation between certainly the middle and the bottom. The top may still be the top. There's a few leagues that have a team that's South Carolina. You know, I think everybody'd feel pretty good about saying they're where they're at. But after that, it gets, you know, they were having a hard time putting, is it Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee? Who is it in that next 4 spots? And then who is in the next 4 spots? There's going to be a really good team playing on Wednesday down there in the SEC tournament this year. It's just the way it's going to be. And then it may be a indicator of where we're headed in college athletics. I don't know that yet, but it certainly is going to be that way for the rest of this year, I think. Good luck, Dorita. Yep.
I mean, 16-point loss. Y'all got outscored by 17 in the second quarter. I'm sure the 6 points right there just really glare to you.
Yeah.
What changed, I guess, in that quarter?
Our defensive transition, because we took awful shots. The transition has no chance if we're taking shots that we got no chance to stop. They're not turnovers, but they should count as a turnover. We took some shots that we're not capable of making, and we are a very offensive sensitive team. If we don't take good shots, then we don't run back in transition, and they made us pay every single time. That's why that 23 is what it is and the 6 is what it is. Most nights, though, when we have the 6, that 23, you know, Coach Todd brought it up, that number is usually a 12 or a 14, you know, when you overcome that. You can't overcome, and I've said it, we've talked about it probably, like this isn't volleyball where you can have that one bad set and you flush it away and you go win the other three sets. You can't do that. That's too big of a deficit. And again, it was the how it happened, not necessarily that it did happen, but I felt like we got ball stuck on one side of the floor. We weren't cutting with a purpose. They were switching screens and we were cutting right to them. And I'll tell you, we made some adjustments. We talked about it, and we went out there and just didn't do it. And that's that stubbornness that I talked about on the radio, but I felt like we got really stubborn at times to make some changes in that second quarter. And it'll be easy to point that out tomorrow when the kids, and they'll see it. I won't have to point it out. They'll look at it and go, wait, we got outscored by 17 and the game was 6. That means we won the rest of the game. That's what it takes in basketball. Just one. And it can be enough to be the difference in the game.